Welcome back to episode 2 of Coffee Chats with Mo and Bro.
Cheers, bro. Good to be back. We made it to episode 2.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Honestly, last week I had a lot of fun just chatting here, having our coffees as well. So I'm looking forward to this one.
Yeah, no, it was a cool thing to do last week. So obviously doing it again today.
Yeah.
Trying to obviously teach people around nutrition, training, exercise in order to develop good habits, to lose weight, build muscle, but more importantly, set people up for life.
Yeah. So as usual, just sit back, relax. If you're at the gym, listen to us, hopefully get some motivation, getting your steps in, whatever it may be. Just sit down, have a coffee, or just listen to us and enjoy it as we go. So we're actually both drinking homemade coffees today.
Yeah.
So we've got sugar-free caramel latte.
Oh, yeah, that's the one that Avalanche, right?
Yeah, the Avalanche one. So it's a good brand, honestly.
That's a good one. All the sugar-free stuff there is pretty good.
And they've got heaps of options in that brand as well.
Yeah.
So definitely try that if you haven't already. That's not actually what we're trying to cover today. We're not promoting the Avalanche brand, but it is a good one, so make sure you try them. So if anyone has missed episode 1, just share a little bit about what we do here at Motion Fitness to help everyone.
So first off, Monique's my sister, and we started our online business 8 months ago. Since then, we've helped quite a few people get in shape.
Yeah.
So we do that through our training and nutrition plans, all catered to you specifically. I know a lot of people out there say that, but like ours really is in terms of our clients are generally based in New Zealand and Australia. We have a few outside of that region, but our business has been created to cater for the Woolworths and Pack and Saves and supermarkets that we all go to.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the nutrition side. Then obviously the workouts, we work with our clients to give them an exercise plan that they can stick to, whether that's exercising once a week, twice a week, or 5 times a week. We kind of create the plan for you. So that's what we do, and we're using this podcast as a platform to learn a little bit about Monique and myself, how we work with our clients, some of the challenges that they face or we've faced in the past and how we've overcome them, to kind of just create a community where everyone can work together to stay fit and healthy.
Yeah, and learn knowledge as well. So on this, obviously, we're going to be covering our 4 topics. But if you do have any questions within those topics that we cover, then feel free to drop them in the comment section, because we want to make sure that we're providing knowledge to you guys that you're actually getting takeaways from. So if that be specific questions, then make sure you pop those in there. So we'll get into it anyway. So nutrition, training, lifestyle, and business is what we're going to follow along for our structure. So every week, that's what we'll be covering. So we'll touch on nutrition first because it plays a massive factor in weight loss and a muscle building journey. So if to lose weight, we need to be in a calorie deficit. If someone feels like they are in a calorie deficit, but they aren't losing weight, they aren't seeing results, what would you say to them? What would you ask them?
I would firstly say, are you tracking everything properly?
Okay,
because there's no way around it. It's actual science.
Yes.
If you're having less calories than what your body needs, you're going to be losing weight.
Yeah.
And vice versa. If you're having more calories than what your body needs, you're going to be putting on weight. And calories are just an energy source.
Yes.
Okay, so for those that weren't aware, calories are purely energy, which means if you have more energy than your body needs, it's going to store, right?
Yeah.
You're going to put on weight. If you have less energy than your body needs, you're going to be losing weight. So it's as simple as that. And if you feel as though you are checking things and you're not losing weight, dare I say it, you're not checking everything properly. And I know that's a hard thing to kind of come to terms with, or you might feel as though you are. But there's little hidden things.
Yeah.
And things like oils, creams, sauces, they are very calorie dense. Fats, very calorie dense. So you might be having a little bit here and there without knowing. Yeah. Chucking butter on things without understanding. So that's where the calories are going to be coming. The hidden calories, even the calories that you might drink.
Yes.
Coffees,
liquid calories.
Full in sugar. If you're having orange juices and things like that, and you're not catering them as part of your diet, you're just drinking them. That's going to go a long way into you not losing weight. So, and if you feel like you're doing that and you aren't getting the results that you're after, that's when you got to reach out to someone like us.
Yeah.
Like, you need to be learning these things, because you're either going to pay for it in terms of not getting results,
Yeah.
or just pay for it with time. So
Yeah.
you want to get it sorted ASAP.
Yeah.
And that's where we come into help.
Yeah. You're either not tracking it correctly or your calorie count and your macro goals are off.
Yes.
So it can be a little bit confusing when it comes to calories and if you're trying to lose weight or gain weight, whatever it may be, but you really need to make sure that you are hitting your calorie goal. And if you've calculated that wrong, then that could be an error as well. So that's when specialists come into it, like myself and Brandon, where we provide nutrition plans for you to follow that fit in with your lifestyle, of recipes that you get to choose and that you're going to enjoy. So if you need help with that, we have all of that, so we can definitely help you. But it's going to make your journey a lot easier and a lot more enjoyable as well, because it takes a lot of the guessing game out of it. So calories are key.
Yep. How do you figure out the calories? Because I know some things over here in New Zealand and Aussie, they don't say the actual calories.
Yes.
How would you figure that out?
So a lot of the packages will actually say kj, so it's kilojoules. So they just like to confuse us, don't they?
Yeah.
But you'll see per serving size, and even within the whole packet, depending on how many serving size there are within the packet, there's going to be a kj. So that's just the energy. So that's how many calories are in that serving size. So what you want to do, just real basic, is divide the kilojoule number by 4, and that's going to give you the calories that are in that serving size, say. So it's 4 point something, but to make it easy on everyone and our clients, we say if you are out and about, you do see that serving size, just divide that by 4, and it's going to give you a pretty good baseline of how many calories are in that.
Yeah.
Massive tip, eh?
Yeah, you just look at the energy, then there'll be the kj normally in brackets, I think. Divide that by 4, and that's the number of calories.
Yeah.
If the nutrition label doesn't give calories already, it's the easiest way for you to be able to figure out how many calories are in the serving.
Yeah. And obviously with the serving size, you've got to make sure that you are giving yourself that exact serving size amount. And then there's how many servings there are in a packet. So just be mindful of all of that. But for any questions on that, drop them in the comment section. We can help you out and dive into that. That's what we teach our clients, right, is how to understand nutrition labels. So we're kind of providing that knowledge as we go, rather than just say, hey, do this, because it's not realistic. If you're out and about and you are at a restaurant, you're at a cafe, you are doing your own food shopping, you need to be understanding exactly what you're buying and what you're putting into your body to actually be able to reap the benefits of your journey. So yeah, that's a good tip. Make sure you write that one down, please. I can't stress that enough. With training, we'll dive into that now. It can be quite hard and confusing to know when to increase your weight. So what would be some tips that you would focus on when it comes to increasing it?
If you can do a number of reps and sets consistently with ease, you're not feeling the pain the next day, it's quite comfortable, it's time to up the weight.
Yeah.
Look, it obviously depends where you are on your fitness journey, and we touched on this a bit last week, and it's like when you're starting off, it's more about being consistent. So it might not be setting the bar super high and pushing yourself and going to complete failure or exhaustion. Saying that there's very minimal times you should be doing that anyway. But if you're starting out, it's all about being consistent. But once you're consistently hitting the gym a few times a week, it's now about pushing yourself.
Yeah.
Which is going to be easier when you are consistent.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of people when they're first starting out will like to, go to the gym and bust ass and work hard for maybe 1 or 2 workouts a week, and then that drops off because your whole idea of training is tough and hard and exhausting.
Yeah.
And that sucks, and no one wants to do that forever.
Yes.
You're much better going at 80% intensity 4 times a week than 110% intensity for one session a week.
Yeah.
So, it's about pushing yourself, being consistent. But yeah, if you can consistently get your number of reps that you're aiming for, it's time to up the weight.
Yeah, with good form, good technique.
With good form. I like to, normally rule of thumb, we'll just go with 3 sets per exercise.
Yeah.
By the 3rd set, it's going to be quite difficult to finish your last rep or 2.
Yeah.
And if it's not, you need to be up in the weight.
Yeah. And that's a good indication that maybe next week you should probably increase your weight or your reps. But if you are getting to that like if you're in that 8 to 12 rep range and you are getting those last ones, they're a bit of a struggle, but you can still do it with good form and technique. Then maybe next week try and up the weight, because that's a good indicator. But that's when also coming into what we spoke about last week about structuring and also recording down your workouts and how you're going is super important. So you've got to make sure that you are tracking that as well.
You got to be following a plan, like we touched on last week. You have to be following a plan. Without a plan, you're wasting your time.
Yeah.
And so you got to be following some sort of structure. And that's going to be how you build muscle.
Yeah.
Because we want to think of the gym and exercise as a way to build muscle, not as a form to lose weight.
Yes.
So you want to be tracking things, because the only way you're going to build muscle is through progressive overload.
Yeah.
So only by looking back and seeing, a month ago I only could get 8 reps of this weight, but now I can get 12.
Yeah.
And that's
what a feeling.
That's going to add to the motivation, which is going to make it easier to carry on. So you need to be tracking these things.
Like you said, if you were to go to the gym twice a week and you absolutely ruined your body, it's not enjoyable. And we want to be doing these, even with our nutrition, we want to be doing this so that we can do it forever, because we've been doing it for years now, and I enjoy the process and the journey, and I'm sure you do as well, because we're running this business. It's hard at times,
but I don't think it's enjoying the journey. It just becomes who you are. I think that's the most important thing. It's not, because there's days I don't want to train.
Absolutely.
There's days I don't train.
Yes.
When I say I will.
Yeah.
But I have less of those days now than I would, or someone would when they're first starting.
Yeah.
Because it's now just part of what I do. If I go 3 days without going to the gym, I'm now starting to feel like shit.
Yes.
I'm starting to feel like I need to get back into the gym. So that's just from routine and being consistent for so long, and everyone can get there.
Yeah.
And we prove it with the people that we work with. After a while, they say the same thing.
Yeah.
And it gets to a point where you don't want to go back to how things were previously.
Well, that was us at some point as well. I remember looking back and being like, God, these gym junkies, I could never do that. And look at their meal prep and everything like that. That'll never be me. And now I could not even imagine going back to how I was those years ago, because this is who I am now. I wake up, I have a routine. I enjoy my routine. I do it. If I don't do it, then I can start to feel a little bit sluggish and everything. So it is super important to make sure that you have that routine and you enjoy it as you go as well.
Yeah. It's about just kind of going back to the exercise, progressive overload, but just bringing that into your daily habits. And because it's not always amazing. It's not always getting up early and having an amazing breakfast and getting 8 hours sleep and doing everything productive and everything's amazing. But it's about trying to kind of improve.
Yes.
And it's not always going to be great. There's going to be periods where you just feel like a slob, and you have a few days where nothing goes right, but it's instilling that into you to know you get right back on the wagon the next day, and you just get back into your good habits. Because over time it all accumulates, and you start feeling better, looking better,
seeing the results,
and then it's just a snowball effect.
And then you're just addicted at that point.
Good
healthy addiction though. We love it. No, cool. Okay, so jumping into lifestyle tip, we're massive on calorie banking throughout the week, when it comes to our clients. It's kind of what we share with them. So what's a tip that you'll give to someone on their lifestyle, on their journey when it comes to weight loss, but they've got social events coming up on the weekend? What would kind of help people with staying on track with calorie banking?
So in order to lose weight, like we touched on, you need to have less calories than what your body needs. But we want to look at it more from a week perspective and not just a daily perspective, because it's very easy to stay under your calories for just one day of the week. But can you do it on average over 7 days consistently? Because that's going to be how you lose weight. So firstly, it's all about getting in your calories. You don't want to be under eating. But there might be periods over the weekend, social events, where you're going out and you're having to eat things off plan. And that's when calorie banking comes in. So calorie banking essentially means you have less calories that day or maybe the day before, because then, like I said, you're going to average it out over a week so you can eat more calories on a certain day. So some people have high calorie days or low calorie days. I know for myself, I generally like to eat probably slightly under my calories Monday to Friday, but
Yeah.
still getting my protein in. So you've got to hit your protein goal,
Yeah.
your fiber goal, and still have your carbs and fats, but maybe slightly under because it's a bit easier. Then on the weekend, it gives me a bit more freedom to kind of bank those calories
Yeah.
and eat a bit more Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
Obviously within reason, but that's how it works best for me.
Yeah. And that's what we do with our clients as well. Because we're not going to limit anyone from going out and enjoying social events, because that's what we enjoy, and that makes you enjoy the journey a lot more as well. And we do it as well. We don't shy away from, the odd little sweet treat or coffees, whatever it may be. We make sure that we put those into our plans.
You've got a big sweet tooth, don't you?
I have the worst sweet tooth.
Yeah.
I'm so bad, but there's ways that I figured out over the years of just like trial and error that have helped me. We both have this as well, like the yogurt with the sugar-free maple syrup and the berries. That has been like a massive lifesaver for me.
Right?
Yeah.
And I think that's another thing, having healthier snacks.
Yes.
Like I love a Magnum ice cream as much as the next, and those cravings will never go away.
Yeah.
Like that's part of just living.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, like I said, Monday to Friday, I try to have cleaner snacks.
Yes. Yeah, I agree.
And then can have the lollies in there on the weekend because I'm being under my calories.
Yeah. But it's all about being smart about it. Like the Magnum, if you were really craving one, it doesn't mean that you can't have it. Like there's the small ones.
Yeah.
And it's just being smart about your choices.
And you can have it every day if you really want to. If you can, if once we figure out the calories and you know what you're doing, you can have whatever you want every day and still get to your goal.
Yeah.
But just from my perspective, I'd rather just try eat clean Monday to Friday.
Yeah.
It works the best for me in my lifestyle, but everyone's different.
Yeah.
Obviously.
I think it's just having that knowledge and just understanding that to lose weight, build muscle, you don't actually have to limit yourself, and you don't have to restrict yourself from the foods that you enjoy. You can still incorporate them into your lifestyle. It's just about having the knowledge and the smarts and the tools around you to be able to actually do that. And that's where we train our clients and get them that knowledge and give them the understanding so that when they are out and about, they can enjoy it as well. Because, you want to be still eating those sweet treats. You've got me thinking about them. No, so we'll get into the business anyway. What's kind of been going on behind the scenes for us at the moment that we can share?
Well, we've got our challenge up and running.
Mm-hmm.
So we like to throw the odd challenge at our clients or potential clients, and it's a good way to kind of kickstart your journey.
Yeah.
We're about sustainable change, so not just losing weight quickly, but more so teaching people how to lose it, but then again stay there. Because you hear a lot of people lose weight, they can put it back on. So, but a challenge is a good way for you to kind of make your health your priority for 10 or so weeks.
Mm-hmm.
It's like whatever you got going on in your life, whatever work stresses you've got, family commitments, let's just knuckle down and focus on you for 10 weeks, and that can really kickstart the journey.
Yeah.
And then obviously we want to incorporate more lifelong habits, but I think a challenge is really important because if you haven't prioritized your health, you need to then make it your number one priority.
Yeah.
If you've left it for too long and you're now in a bad way, it needs to be your number one priority. And a challenge is just a cool way to kind of get you locked in, zoned in, knowing what you're trying to achieve, get the journey started, and then we obviously guide you after that.
Yeah.
But we've got the challenge going.
Yeah, we've got a lot of people who jump on board with challenges as well. They seem to really enjoy it and the kickstart that they get from it. And like Brandon said, it's 10 weeks, so it's achievable. And then from there, you kind of look at how you can sustain it throughout your life. But yeah, people do enjoy it because I guess with the challenge, if you put in the work for the 10 weeks, and just follow the plans that we give you, you're going to get the results. So you walk away at the 10 weeks feeling like a new person. And then from there, your mental mindset kind of changes and you grow stronger. And then you're like, holy shit, I'm seeing all these results and I'm gaining all this knowledge. So I'm going to continue to see what else I can teach and kind of what I can pick up on the way.
Yeah. And like it's worked well. Our last few challenges, first one lost 13 kilos.
Yeah.
Next one, the winner lost 16 kilos. So it's cool. It's cool. And you can just see the look in their face, like how much more confident they feel.
Yeah.
How they're just in a point where they don't want to stop.
Mm-hmm.
And like that means we've done our job.
Yeah.
Like we've set you up, you know what you're doing, and that's what we do. That's what gives us pride and joy. And yeah, so challenges are cool. We've got one going at the moment.
Yeah.
I can tell this is a good bunch.
I can tell this is a good one.
Good bunch of people on board.
Yeah.
So we're going to have some more transformations in the next few weeks.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll be doing one probably later in the year, so we'll make sure to keep everyone posted.
Yeah, so make sure on that you've got to be obviously following us, so that you can make sure you can see when our next challenge is coming out, because we will have another one. What are you going to say? You're going to judge that I couldn't get those words out?
Yeah, I was like, spit it out, man.
Just say it. Say it with your chest. No,
yeah.
That was hard for me.
Okay.
But yeah, we will have another challenge going. So if you are interested in it, just make sure you stay updated with us, so you can get that content come through. But yeah, awesome. So we'll leave it there anyway. Thank you for watching. We're always going to be following these 4 topics. So next week we'll do this again, slightly altering them to just make sure that we're giving you valuable tips as we go. But yeah, thank you. We really appreciate the support. And yeah, make sure you drop any questions that you have in the comment section. Anything else?
Nah, you did well.
I did well. Am I going to get another coffee next week?
Yeah,
You're going to go buy me one?
I think you've earned it. I think you've earned your next coffee. So yeah, no, we'll make sure we're back here for episode 3.
Yeah, looking forward to
crushing it.
Yeah, we're smashing it. Awesome. Thank you guys, and we'll see you next week for episode 3. Cheers.
Cheers, bro.